are back again with another 22 long rifle pistol handgun review, and today some of y'all have requested this one and I finally got my hands on it because I'm here at Texas Legends gun range in Allen, Texas, and they be having everything. So let's just start out the gate and show y'all what it is. This is the Ruger Mark IV chambered in 22 long rifle. So first impressions, I was like, first of all, this thing is heavy compared to any other 22 that I've shot. I was like, I ain't never picked up a 22 long rifle pistol that was this heavy. The machining on this, the steel frame, I believe it is, it reminds me of like a wannabe AR because of the pick rail on top, which is very kind of weird looking, to be honest. And you got your pick rail, same pick rail on the bottom for your lighter laser. And then again, like the heaviness of the gun, and then the grips on here have they have that 1911 style grip. So I have a Rock Island 1911. That's exactly what this feels like, grip angle and all. It just feels way different than your usual polymer frame 22 long rifle. The iron sights, okay, so you got a blacked out kind of like almost U, but it's square, and then you have this front sight here in the front. A very unique slide stop, like you can just tell. So I have to rack my gun like this, so if you can tell, the slide doesn't move at all. It literally is like you are moving the bolt carrier group from an AR. And it actually hurts. When I was loading a minute ago, I messed around and pulled it, and then my finger on this side got caught and pinched it. So something to think about there. Does have ambi safety. Let me just turn the camera like this so I can make sure I'm not breaking the 180. So ambi safety right here. Can actuate that pretty good. You have your mag release right here, and then we have this obnoxious looking 10 round magazine that look like a boot, some boots that's been leaning for quite a while. So one of the cons right out the gate is this thing only holds 10 rounds. Like that means we're gonna be standing here loading all day. So if we put the magazine in, tap it in, that is what the Ruger Mark IV looks like. And y'all, I don't know. Never shot this. I've never shot this before. So here's to the first time shooting the Ruger Mark IV. Oh, I didn't show you all the trigger, but I'll just tell you how it feels after shooting. Let's see. Okay. All right. Here we go. Failure to feed. So that round is trying to get up in there, but not quite. Actually, it's not even failure to feed. As I'm looking at it, it's a failure to eject the casing. So there's that casing. There's the next one. Let's see. Okay, so maybe no. Drop that magazine. Oh my God, it's cold in here too, so it's making my fingers a little bit with this steel, working this steel. But we're empty. There's no lock back. I don't know if this gives a lock back or not. What I do know is my shooting up there. Actually, I can lock it back with the slide. There we go, so that we know we're empty and safe. I do notice my accuracy. I don't know if it's me or if it's the gun, but I'm shooting to the left. So we're in the center mass area, but I'm over here. Now I feel like I'm lining my sights up. Could be me, but I feel like I'm lining my sights up. So I don't know. On the accuracy part of it, still a little shaky, All right, one of the selling points on the Mark IV though is its accuracy. So I'm gonna allude the fact that some don't really know how to shoot, which I do know how to shoot, but for the sake of today's video, I don't want this to be a gun issue. Let it be a summer issue. So I will say though, the heaviness of this, the build of this, contributes to a better shooting experience. It's already a 22 long rifle, so the recoil is not going to be terrible. It's going to be minimum at the least, if non-existent. But because of the weight on here, it really does make the shoot really, really nice. That was 10 already? No. Failure to eject. What? Ugh! Light primer strike. Failure to eject the case. Ah! Y'all. Okay. I done pinched my finger again. Okay, this is not the ideal for a first time shooter at all. This ain't it. Maybe if we were outside in the 100-degree Texas weather, it wouldn't hurt so bad. Like I said, it's a little bit chilly in here. And, you know, when you operate metal things and steel things, you know, your hands don't cooperate with that type of stuff. And they're more prone to pinching and hurting and all that kind of stuff. So maybe if we was outside, better. But still, I don't think this is for a first-time shooter at all. The way that you have to manipulate this bolt carrier group, I don't even know if it's called a bolt carrier group because the slide is not moving, but the way you have to manipulate this is not ideal. I think that the wings back here should have been protruded out just a little bit more, because look how flush they kind of fit in the back of the gun. I feel like if it was a little bit wider, we might be in there like swimwear, but that that ain't it. Now what I will say though is that trigger feels really good. The problem though is you can't really dry fire because I've been trying to dry fire and the only thing I can do is pull the trigger, reset the slide, and then it resets the trigger, and then I'm able to feel a reset, but I can't pull it again. So I really can't show you the trigger reset or the trigger pull, but I will say it is a smooth trigger. Even though it's curved, y'all know how I am about the curved triggers. They look ugly, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they perform ugly. The trigger guard is pretty small, so if you got bigger hands or bigger fingers, it might be difficult for you to get your finger in there. This is an interesting firearm. I know it's been around for quite some time. I know people rip and rave about it, especially because of its accuracy. But for me, as a first timer shooting it, it's interesting. It's interesting. I do think it'll probably take some getting used to. I would be eager to know what kind of optic people are putting on here. Like, are you putting a Hollison Ames on here? Nah, that's excessive. That's excessive. Peak rail on here, I would be eager to know what kind of optic people are putting on here. I will say though, one of the things that people like about it is if you look at the back here, there is a button that you will push and it will take down the Ruger Mark IV just like that. It makes the takedown easy, the disassembly easy. Get in there and clean it, put it back together. So it's just one button, whereas with polymers, you got to flip this button on the side, pull the trigger, push the slide forward, and it comes off. This one is just one button press, and then you got the gun taken apart. So let's shoot some more. Maybe I can straighten up my accuracy this time. And maybe I don't have any malfunctions this time. All right, let's try to aim in the center. Oh, light primer strike. I'll look at that in a minute. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're all out. Now, what I will say is I am lining my iron sights up with the X, but I'm still shooting left. So one or two things, either this particular model is not accurate or the iron sights are off. Because the selling point again is that this thing is super accurate. But my shots are all low left. And I don't shoot low left usually. So I know it's not a me thing. So it's gotta be either the iron sights are off or this particular model, which alludes to the iron sights. The iron sights must be off on this one because I'm shooting left. So now what I'm gonna do is kind of shoot to the right and see if it can line up. And yep, there's that bullet at a light primer strike. And that's one thing you just gotta know about the 22 long rifle, is that the ammo is, you know, you gotta be careful what ammo you use. Mini mags are the way to go. They're pretty reliable, but if you do anything other than that, yeah, you might have issues. Okay, this time, let's go to the right. Okay, I'm literally gonna shoot the 9. No malfunctions there. And yeah, I started shooting towards the 9 and everything started. I even hit the X one time. So I would say that the iron sights are off on this. All right, so this is what everything is looking like so far. I did actually aim here, right here, and then I started getting hits right here. So it might be off, you know, a couple inches, if not more. But I do like how it shoots though. Although it looks a little weird, the irons are off a tad bit, I think it's a really good shooting gun. Headshots. Nice. Failure to eject. That trigger, very, very smooth. All right, y'all, that's the Ruger Mark IV. Actually, I'm pretty glad that I got my hands on it. Very different, super different. I think you have to get used to it, to be honest. If this is something you want to put in your collection, it's going to be totally different from your normal polymer frame 22 long rifles or even handguns, period. But I did think this one shot really good. Mostly I like the trigger and I like the texturing of the grips, the grip panels on here. The grip panels are that rubberized grip, and it helped you just maintain not a ton of recoil at all, but it just helped with the heaviness of the gun and being able to get a good grip and a good purchase on the firearm. Being that it is that metal or that steel, you didn't want to like be gripping steel the whole time. So I think the added texturing of the rubber on here, it was pretty nice. Again, very different than what I'm used to. I did think the iron sights were off today, but other than that, I think this is nice. Price is not even a little bit higher than your actual or your typical 22 long rifle handguns. More over that 350, 400 mark. Maybe you can find it cheaper. But other than that, it is up there in the price just a little bit. Granted, it is heavier steel frame. And not polymer frame. Like I said, I don't think this is ideal for a first-time shooter. I definitely don't think this is a good trainer. You know how we all like to train with our 22s a little bit. I don't think this is a good trainer. I actually think this one will be pretty good for just taking it to the range and pinging some steel. I think this would be excellent for that. I don't think that it would be like the weight of it would be appealing to some people, simply because it does have some weight to it. I forget how much it weighs, but it does have some weight to it, so that might not be appealing to everyone. But overall, I think this is a good gun to have in your collection. To carry, no. For precision, no. For defense, no. But I think it's just when I say all around, I think it's a decent pistol for fun, for range time, anything like that. And I just think it looks different. Like, you're not gonna find something that looks like this in everybody's collection. You're just not. So I think it's also like an antique piece. This is, I don't know how old this is. I don't know when this came out. And it is a tactical version. It has its pros and it has its cons. And to each its own. If you want to carry this for self-defense, by all means. If you want to hunt with this, by all means. If you want to compete with this, by all means. I do think it's a pretty decent gun. It does have the option for you to put a suppressor on here if you wanted to. I didn't put the suppressor on here today, but pretty decent. I'll give it like a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. What y'all think? Anybody own the Mark IV? And if you do, what are your thoughts on the Mark IV? Give y'all a side view. So what it's looking like. What y'all think? What that look like to y'all? Just old and needs to be put in the back of the safe, or bring this thing out and, you know, make it historic as it already is, or bring this thing out and shoot it? What y'all think? Let me know down in the comment section. Make sure y'all go pick up some merch. It's right below this video if you're watching it on your phone. If you're not watching on your phone, you're watching on your TV. I put the QR code right here for you to make your purchase today. It really does help out the channel. I'm able to bring you guys videos like this. I really do appreciate everyone who has already purchased a shirt, a hoodie, a sweatshirt, a long sleeve shirt, a t-shirt. Doesn't matter. It really does help the channel, and I thank all of you so much for your support on summer shoots. And until next time, stay armed, stay safe, and stay vigilant. Peace.